Welcome to another Super Deluxe Edition unboxing video. Today we're going to take a look at the 40th anniversary vinyl reissue of ABBA's The Visitors, which was originally released in 1981. Now, of course, this is a bit late because the 40th anniversary should have been 2021. But of course, ABBA surprised the world with their new album, Voyage, in 2021. And then in 2022, when they could have released this, all the focus was on the new concert residency in East London, also called Voyage. So they've had to wait until 2023, this year, to actually get this finally released. Now, this is a purely vinyl reissue program, so it's a bit of a cookie cutter kind of approach, because like some of the previous albums, we've got a half-speed mastered vinyl edition. We've got a coloured vinyl 7-inch box set. And then we've got individual 7-inch picture disc singles. So we're going to take a look at all these formats, starting off with the album proper. So this is a 2 LP set. The first time I believe The Visitors has been released as a double LP set. Half-speed mastered at Abbey Road as per the previous records. So these come with an Obi strip. You can see how the music's been split across 4 sides. 3 out of the 4 sides only have 2 tracks on them. Miles Showell at Abbey Road's done the remastering. So this is now a gatefold. Originally the album wasn't a gatefold. So there's the rear. There's the front cover with the original typography in the correct place. We'll look at the CDs in a minute, but the CD reissues, you can see they kind of changed the typography, which I never really liked that much. So yeah, so this is gatefold. So the inner sleeve had the lyrics like this. What they've done is they've printed the inner sleeves in the gatefold inside like that. You do get the totally useless half-speed mastering certificate, complete with foil blocked stamp, which is kind of like pointless. But they're not printed on polylined sleeves like I thought they might be. They've actually done some printed inners for this with some photographs from the era, which some of them are quite interesting. Some of them I haven't really seen before, so that's quite interesting. This is pressed on heavyweight 180 gram black vinyl, polar labels. I mean, you can argue about whether you need to actually have this album over 4 sides of vinyl. There are some notes here from Darrell Easley. The Swedish author Carl Magnus Palm, he wrote some great sleeve notes actually for the CD Deluxe. In fact, both CD reissues have come out. He's an authority on ABBA. He wrote the recording sessions, but for whatever reason, Darrell's done this sort of fairly brief overview in this Visitors reissue. Again, black vinyl, polar labels. Now, I should confess I haven't listened to this yet. I'm sure it'll sound very good. I think there's been some good reports coming through in terms of how this sounds. Now, these records are pressed at 45 RPM, which is why there's so few tracks and it's now over 2 records. There's an argument to say still do a half-speed mastered version, but why not, if you're going to do a 2 LP set, why not have some bonus tracks on the second record? Now is probably a good time to reflect on what was the 30th anniversary edition, more or less. It was 2012 that this came out, of The Visitors. And the interesting thing about what they were calling the final album at the time was it had a very rare unreleased track on it called From a Twinkling Star to a Passing Angel. And this was various iterations of the last track on the album, Like an Angel Passing Through My Room. It was different approaches, different ways of doing that song. So it runs for quite a long time. I think it's like 8 minutes or 10 minutes or something. It's really, really interesting. And that's never been issued on vinyl, so that could have been a great bonus track. And then aside from that, you've got some B-sides and then the non-album singles. And on this edition, you've got I Am the City, which was a song that they recorded after The Visitors for what was going to be the next album. That was unreleased until More ABBA Gold in 1993, and then it ended up on this as well. But that song, I Am the City, is not included in any of the editions of the 40th anniversary reissue of The Visitors. So it does feel a little bit like a wasted opportunity, but anyway, it's just the album, 2 LP set, half-speed mastered, 45 RPM. Now moving on to the 7-inch box set, very similar to what's come previously. I mean, it's quite, it's quite nice. The cover art looks pretty good on the front. You've got the spine there, ABBA, the Visitors, the singles, and these are all coloured vinyl pressings. The thing that lets this box down is the quality of the reproduction of the sleeves. So if we start off with One of Us, I mean, you can see it's very oversaturated. It's effectively, it's the same image, isn't it? But look at the difference. There's too much red in this. It's a nice glossy sleeve, actually. But yeah, it's not particularly nice reproduction. And all of the records in this set, they just repeat the front cover on the back, which is slightly strange. I mean, they must have done that at the time, but you can kind of tell the telltale signs of a sort of dodgy scan because it's all a bit fuzzy, the text around here. The actual singles look good, look. The labels look great, the coloured vinyl looks good. It's just the covers. It actually gets worse because some of the photography is really dodgy. This was, One of Us was the first single, the big hit really from the Visitors. This was number 3. It's the last number 3 in the UK, the last top 10 single for ABBA in the UK. Now, Head Over Heels was the second single in the UK. Kind of technically a double A-side, I think, although I'm not sure many people remember it that way. In America, The Visitors was released, and that was the kind of the more prominent of the 2 songs on the single. But yeah, this photo just doesn't look very good. It's a really dodgy scan. It just doesn't look very good. And of course it's used on the back and the front. Again though, quite a nice vinyl, coloured vinyl pressing for the 7-inch. So because there's only 2 proper singles for the Visitors, certainly in the UK, they've just cut straight to the final 2 singles before the band split. So these were both non-album singles in the end. They ended up on the greatest hits, the first 10 years greatest hits, ABBA the singles. But these covers are awful. I mean, ABBA were never known for their great cover artwork, not for the singles anyway. So this is like, how do we fit 4 heads on a square and still make them sort of big enough? So sort of slightly kind of dodgy cutouts, if you ask me. It's also weird seeing the group in this big smiley picture because The Day Before You Came, it's not really reflective of the song or the mood of the song, is it? Nice pink vinyl pressing to sort of match the typography, I guess. And then the last single for a long time, Under Attack. You can tell that the band have sort of lost interest a bit because this has to be one of the worst bits of cover art for a single ever. I mean, I don't know what's going on with the sort of treatment of the photo, but it all looks terrible. Someone pointed out that Frida looks a bit Gary Glitter-esque in this photo, which is sort of rather unfortunate. But yeah, same picture on the back and the front. Really, really bad. I mean, it's a great song. And this is a clear vinyl pressing. So they're the singles in the box set. The good thing about this box set is a way of getting those B-sides. They're not on the album proper, are they? So I guess that's one sort of little positive thing about these. And then you can guess what's next. It's really the same 4 singles just done as picture discs. So these are all die cut. They do come with these little plastic sleeves. Unlike the actual singles, you don't get the same. You get the image without any text on the front. And then you get all the text on the back. So that's One of Us and Should I Laugh or Cry. I mean, the images are the same. There's Head Over Heels and The Visitors. And again, that's got a blue background. The Day Before You Came with that weird sort of photo pink at the back. And then Under Attack with the very weird sort of treated photo. Everyone looks a bit dodgy and it's got that funny effect on it. And there's the back. So overall, I think it's good that they've got around to doing The Visitors, but as with the other album reissues, feels a little bit like going through the motions with the ticking the box. 7-inch box set, yes. 7-inch picture disc, yes. Very consistent, but consistent with what has come before, which wasn't really that exciting anyway. I mean, The Visitors should be an album which we could be enjoying in spatial audio, Dolby Atmos. How good would that sound? Benny and Bjorn's insistence to not release anything extra You know, I mean, they did in 2012. That was an exception rather than the rule with that demo version of Like an Angel Passing Through My Room. But, you know, their sort of ironclad grip on the archives is, you know, it's fair enough, but you have to accept that the reissues aren't going to be the most exciting if that's what you want to do. They could, for example, have given the okay for an instrumental version of this album. That would have been quite interesting. But anyway, it is what it is, as they say. So this has been Paul from Super Deluxe Edition, taking a look at the 40th anniversary reissue of ABBA's 1981 album, The Visitors, in 2 LP half-speed mastered form, in 7-inch box set coloured vinyl form, and then the 7-inch picture discs. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, why not subscribe to the Super Deluxe Edition YouTube channel for more great physical music unboxed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.